All right, welcome into the crossover. That right there is Keyon Dooling. I'm TenDayTony. Key, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
We got a
too.
loaded show today.
Let's talk.
And what I love more than anything is being able to drop the people's elbow on incompetent organizations.
Well, I played for that organization.
I know you did. So I know you know people in there. I know you got love for the city. I know you got love for the team. Maybe maybe not.
I can't. It's a hot topic.
Okay.
It's a hot topic, and it's personal. I know Lawrence Frank very well. I know T. Lou very well. And I know CP very well, so I'm looking forward to the conversation about that.
So we'll start right there. CP3 gets sent home from a road trip, which, I don't know, in your expertise in the NBA, how many times does that happen where not something illegal, not like they got arrested, not like something happened. It was just, all right, this guy is sent home from a road trip in the middle of the night, and he's gone.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. You've seen it with, like, Evan Turner and people like that who aren't cancers to teams, but the team really just kind of doesn't need them to be on the court, so they would work out. Chandler Parsons had to do all that. There's a lot of people, over the course of history that has gotten, kind of excommunicated. But this is a little bit different. You've never seen a player of that caliber. You've never seen a player who announced his retirement get this treatment. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit, the timing was bad, but also it's not super surprising to me because, like, Chris Paul's leadership, it's a gift and a curse, right? And when you're priming, when you're at the peak of your career, when you're at the apex of your career, your opinion, your voice, your influence matters more. As your career kind of winds down and it's at the end, they don't necessarily want that for you.
You don't have the same teeth you did.
You don't
back in
have
the
the same pull. And also, I think it's a testament to the journey of a superstar player, right? When you've been a max player and a perennial all-star and a gold medalist and, one of the best players of all time, I've seen this time and time again that at the end of their career, I've seen organizations, teams, the league shit on them.
We talked about that with Russ a couple of episodes ago.
We talked about that with Russell Westbrook. We talked about that with Melo. You start to see, even remnants of LeBron, right? And how he's going to fit in and his influence.
Luka's team now.
All those different things. And so I encourage players while you're in your prime, to exercise that power, that authority, because at some point they will stick it to you.
It get exercised on you in a way that you cannot stop
For sure. You got to have leverage. And so when you have leverage, you have to have impact. And Chris Paul has been a fighter, man. Not only on the court, I fought side by side with him with the union. As he was the president, I was well, at that time he wasn't the president, but I was the first vice president. He was a vice president. He eventually became the president of the Players Association executive committee. So I know him. He's ferocious. He's tough. He's a lot of times political in a sense where sometimes it rubs people the wrong way. Sometimes people can receive that as passive aggressiveness, but I just think he's playing 48 laws of power and he wants to win. He's competitive. And at the end of the day, that same gift at this point in his life has been a curse.
And the power struggle was him and Lawrence Frank apparently had some words that got sent home in the middle of the night. Lou Will today on FanDuel
just
TV
talking
had
to
this say.
a few different people over there and just trying to understand what transpired in the early morning hours of this team being in Atlanta. But from what I've gathered, that brought an end to this abruptly there was a few scenarios and which CP was holding people accountable from from players to staff, from coaching staff up to the front office. And from what I understand, there was a situation where he even addressed the team and apologized and said, look, my criticisms are coming from a good place. I want us to be a good team. I want us to get this thing right. And he was just holding guys accountable. Now, how some of that talk was taken or interpreted, that's up for the players and the coaching staff that was involved and how they felt about it. And then down the line, there was another scenario where he was critical of front office as well. And I think that was the one that broke the camel's back. That was the straw that broke the camel's back when he had some criticisms for the front office as well. I think that's what brought this to a head in the early hours in Atlanta. Like I said, I'm in Atlanta. The Clippers are in Atlanta. It was about 3-something in the morning. For whatever reason, I was up, but I was up, and and that's what I was understood. But for a player who's Gonna go down as a Hall of Famer, for somebody who's gonna, you know, possibly have the opportunity to be the first jersey retired in the Raptors over there at the Intuit Dome, and be the first to represent Lob City, and be the first person to represent the Clippers in that manner. This is just a sour way to go out. It looks bad on the Clippers' part to do this in the late night hours. It looks bad for Chris Paul. It looks bad for all parties involved.
So he said a couple of things that I thought were really interesting. You're talking about a legend of the sport, who's probably a top 5 point guard ever, if we want to really get down to it. Maybe top 3. What do you think?
Disagree. But go ahead.
Okay. So he's a one of the best point guards of all time.
For sure.
Easily. He's probably your best Clipper ever.
Facts.
Okay. Him, Blake Griffin, like I'd probably say those 2 and then maybe a couple other guys. But you're talking about a legend of your game, a legend of your team, and you don't have the respect to at least see the retirement path and the longevity of that to allow be like, all right, let's let bygones be bygones. Let's be adults here. Let's just figure this out. At the end of May, the Clippers aren't going to make it the playoffs right now. That's another conversation we'll have in a second. But you're supposed to do this the right way, right? There's supposed to be adults in the room.
Yeah.
And now it feels like that whole thing is off. Are you gonna ever have him back the way that everything broke off?
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I don't think Lawrence Frank will be there forever. And so I think at some point CP will be open with, welcome back with open arms, especially when the Hall of Fame comes around. He'll be first ballot. But you got to take a deeper dive. The Clippers have had a horrible summer, right?
I think that's putting it lightly too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been bad, from the trade, getting Norman Powell out of there, from, the Kawhi scandal and the, potential of, paying under the table or setting them up. Tyrone Lewis had some issues this year with, 2 of his best friends getting indicted and the pressure that kind of goes along with that. Kawhi and his injuries. There's a whole host of things that are up against CP in this situation. However, Chris Paul is a legacy player. The benefit of him isn't just on the court. He was only playing 14 minutes a game, right?
Yeah.
You bring him in for leadership. And so then when you have these moments, there's always times in professional sports, college sports, sports in general, that you have to have these moments as a team, these moments of clarity, and you have to air it out, right? And sometimes those things can be a little contentious. Sometimes they can be a little combative. I've seen fights. I've seen arguments. I've seen debates. But also I've seen, some of the most vulnerable times is in that chaos, right? And with CP3, what do you expect? He's that kind of player. He's that kind of leader. He's that kind of man. And as you get older and as you get seasoned, your tolerance for the bullshit, if you see it, you're going to say something. And he's earned the right to be able to say something. Now, with that being said, it's how you deliver that message, right? Did you emasculate those men? Did you devalue their position and their role and their authority? I think sometimes it's probably more difficult for superstar players as opposed to role players to play that role and know how to navigate that space because they're so used to being able to, say their piece, with authority. But it just doesn't look good. And I think it'll end bad for Lawrence Frank ultimately. I think it'll be a stain on his reputation.
Funny enough, an hour ago, I want to see, I think I just got on Twitter, an hour ago, he just got an extension.
Wow. Well, listen, I played for Lawrence, right? And he's one of my favorite guys, right?
Is he tough to play for?
No, he wasn't. I had my best years, my best year playing with him. I averaged the most points. I played the most minutes on my career. I averaged my most assists in a season. So on that part, I got nothing but love for Lawrence, right? He's extremely organized. He works his ass off. He's a good communicator. A lot of times when you look at somebody who might be, short in stature, it doesn't really tell how big their energy can be. And Lawrence is a man, and he stands on business, and he's a little bit tough as well. But I think he's similar to CP3 where, he navigates in a sense. And it's not a negative thing. You have to navigate.
Like you said. Yeah.
And he knows how to play that 48 laws of power. And look, I guess it worked out for him. With him getting an extension, that's huge. That's saying, hey, we still believe in you. I don't think this Clippers organization is the organization that I play for. This is not a Donald Sterling run team. Steve Ballmer is totally different. They have a great fan base now. They have their own arena. They have resources. Obviously, trades, injuries, and things like that. When you go back in time, Paul George was revered, right?
We can't look back at that trade and be like, oh, it's a terrible trade, because at that point,
we didn't know SGA would be like this. We knew he would be good,
not the best player in the league.
We had no idea.
Like, nobody did.
Yeah, at that time, Paul George was more valuable. That's why he got.
And it was about landing Kawhi and like doing everything it took to make sure that those two guys were happy in your city to basically wrestle away or try to wrestle away LA from the Lakers.
Right.
And like they had that. Now you look back 5 years and you're like, damn, yeah, they probably shouldn't have done that. But like, again, how are we supposed to know?
Yeah, it's a tough situation, but I think it's the right way to do anything, right? And Chris Paul deserves better than 3 a.m. or a midnight meeting or after a battle, in the heat of the battle when you butt heads, to make a decision like that. I don't think they thought it all the way through. I don't think they thought it would be this much backlash. But also, I understand that team is 5-16 or something like that. Like, they're at the bottom of the barrel right now. Obviously, there's things going on and off the court, and so maybe his energy was too big, for the team to be able to like kind of rally together. Maybe they felt it was.
Do you
a
think people
little
were
bit more divisive.
tuning him out a little bit just because of the fact that like we're not good. Right, we're all struggling right now. We all feel it, right? Zubats feels it, Harden feels it, Kawhi feels it. Everybody feels it in the building. Ty Lue feels it, Lawrence Frank feels it, Ballmer feels it, right? From different levels, and it feels like when you have somebody that is as vocal as CP3, who is the stature of a legend of your game, coming in and telling you X, Y, and Z, and challenging you and keeping you accountable and whatever, and you're in the mood of like, yo, I'm trying, bro, like. I'm doing my best. Yeah. We're bad. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I'm only playing my part. Then he challenges you, and that shit kind of rubs you the wrong way. You're like, bro, this old head, like, I'm good, bro. Like, I don't need to hear you. Yeah. But then he just kind of like keeps going and keeps going and keeps taking the fire higher and higher.
Wow. Yeah.
And then and then everybody turns on him. He's got nobody on his player side. He's got nobody on the coaching side. He's got nobody in the front office side. You look around and be like, damn, I'm kind of by myself here.
Hey, man, listen, here's the thing. Like, Chris Paul has had a squeaky clean image, right? The media.
The commercials.
Yeah, the endorsements. The way that the casual fan, or not even the casual fan, the way that fans view him, I got something to say. Players don't see him that way.
You mean they don't see him as Cliff, the insurance salesman?
No, man. Listen, man. Like, the bottom line, I like CP3. I always, felt he was a fierce competitor. I always felt he was tough. I know he fought for players. So I don't have a problem with him. I like CP. I've always liked him. But I played with Rondo, who was one of his nemesis. And they had the fade on the court. A lot of guys don't like CP3. When you hear some of his former teammates talk about him, they don't talk about him with the love and the care and the respect that they talk about the legends who in the Hall of Fame.
The KGs, like you said.
Yeah, they don't talk about, like, KG's teammates don't view him the way Chris Paul's teammates view him.
Wow.
Right? And that's a real thing. That is a real thing, because CP is a 48 laws, and I hate to be redundant saying that,
but it's true.
But he plays the game. He navigates the game, and he plays to win. And you might not like his tactics, but the results have been a Hall of Fame career. Now, a championship has eluded him. So he will go down as one of those great players who didn't win a championship, but he's a winner. Yeah. Right? And what made him is ultimately breaking him at this point.
And do you see... So at the end of the day, let's bookmark.
I know I said a lot right there, but
no, you're right. No, you're 100% right. And it gets to a point where you're like I said, you look around and nobody's. You're rallying against the system. You're speaking truth to power, and then you look back and nobody's behind you,
dude.
And everybody's on the other side, like, oh shit.
I know, right? But think about all the caveats that the guys who played with them said, right? DeMarcus Cousins, I believe, he said, look, y'all know I don't mess with CP3, but this is wrong. So it's not about liking people, it's about respect. Right. Everyone respects CP. Right. You have to respect his gangster on the court. You have to respect his work that he did for the union. You have to respect his brand that he's built. You have to respect how he's a family man and a husband and a father, right? You have to respect all those things. Now, how he went about doing it, a lot of people have an issue with it. That's why you don't see a lot of guys coming to his defense on a personal level,
right? Yep.
But you see people defending him
from a
professionally.
legacy perspective.
Absolutely.
Damn.
Absolutely.
That's crazy though. A lot of people.
Catch-22.
Come on, man. A lot of people, and that's real shit you're saying, because like people only see what they're meant to see,
Absolutely.
right? The veneer of insurance salesman. I'm a good guy, like everything's cool, but then you're a motherfucker off that.
Yes.
And people
Mean
need,
as a rattlesnake.
and people need to know, like, things aren't always what they seem.
I would love to hear the referee's perspective on Chris Paul.
Ooh, we should get a ref.
Ooh.
You know any refs out there?
I do, but you know what? I do.
We should bring up a ref. We should bring up a ref and be like,
I
yo,
gotta holler at my boy Eric Lewis,
come on,
Florida boy.
come on, let's have him on the
Bethune-Cookman's
show.
finest. He's not reffing in the NBA anymore. He's reffing in college now. So I may have to call him, bring him
He
on.
might have some time for us.
But I would tell you, Chris Paul was very hard on officials. Very hard on officials. I don't think officials. He will. Believe it or not, I think officials might hate Chris Paul more than they hate Rasheed Wallace.
Damn. And why is that?
Because he was a motherfucker.
She was too, though.
The same
but not
way,
like that.
The same way he probably was in that meeting is how he treated officials on a daily basis.
In a public setting on TV.
Yeah, but you wouldn't really see it all the time because he knew how to, like, Chris is smooth like that.
Smooth criminal.
But
huh?
he was so mean, you couldn't do nothing but respect him. And he was cold.
Yeah.
And he was strong, and he was smart, and he was hardworking, and he could play, he could shoot, he could pass. He had
Full
a win.
package,
He's
yeah.
a winner who never won a champion. He's a champion that never won an NBA championship.
Damn.
The same way I feel like there's a lot of guys like Karl Malone and John Stockton. The way that those guys
Barkley.
played, Charles Barkley, the way that they played basketball, they were champions. The way that they hooped, they just never won the championship.
They just ran into 23.
Yeah, 23 or number 6 when it was LeBron's turn, or whoever that legacy player, 8 or
Number 8,
24,
24,
or 34, Shaq, or whoever it is at that time. But I'm glad we're having this conversation because, like, at the end of the day, man, athletes, we put in a lot of work, especially those superstar players who the game really markets and gets behind. They champion the game. They play all across the globe. He's played over 20 seasons in the NBA. He's made
That's hard, man.
It is difficult.
That's hard on your body, on your mind. Like, it's just a feat to do 10 years in the NBA. Now double it. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that we rarely see.
And the last thing I'll say about this situation, unless you want to continue, Chris Paul has positioned himself to do whatever he wants to in his post-career, right? No matter what path he wants to choose, he's put in enough work. He has enough respect. He has the pedigree that he can do this. This right here will make people dig deeper, look at him a little bit differently, right? They almost are putting a difficult label on him when he's been CP3 as a rookie. He's always had leadership. He's been that guy, man, since he was a kid, since high school, when I think it was his grandfather who passed away, and he scored the amount of points and walked off the court. He's always been a dog.
I think he missed a free throw on purpose.
He missed a free throw just to
get the
land
number.
on his Pawpaw's number. So, in a nutshell, I got nothing but respect for CP3. The way he played the game, the way he competed, I have nothing but love and respect for the way he always stood up for players. Have nothing but love.
Clippers do the right thing. Put the jersey in the rafters. The way they went about it was wrong. They got to do the right thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, they will. They will. Steve Ballmer, by all things that I hear about him,
stand-up guy,
is more than just a billionaire. He's a man with the heart.
Yeah.
Who, impacts culture, who understands community, who builds communities, who builds and gives opportunities. So I think, it's not the Clippers of old. I'm not going to shit on that organization at this point because what they've
totally
done,
different.
They've rebranded. They are a true brand in a big city, in a big market, and Steve Ballmer has done an amazing job. Now
they got to start stacking W's. Is what they got to start doing.
It's championship or bust, man. But injuries
it's
are
bust
part
right
of
now.
the game.
Seems like
it's a bust.
It's a bust.
Yeah,
it's a bust.
It didn't
right
work
now.
out.
At 6-16 with Kawhi Leonard, with James Harden, with Zubats, like you feel like that was the core at least that could get you somewhat in the middle of the pack with the West and being able to be in striking distance for Western Conference championship. And it's like, damn, it's just not there.
Here's a guy we haven't talked about in this situation. I know we mentioned the claw, right? We haven't talked about James Harden.
Harden's he's been very good this season and average this season.
Here's the thing.
It's been like this.
His expiration date is coming as well.
Very soon.
And he has all the individual accolades as well. But a championship has eluded him. And this is another year where he won't get a championship. So I think it's probably time to blow that team up. Send James on. If
you keep
possible,
Kawhi, you let Kawhi go.
Look, if I'm Lawrence and I just get an extension, I'm going a fresh start. You know, because that could potentially buy you some time, and you can maybe try and reclaim some of those draft assets that you gave away to get Paul George. So, but the thing is, the value of them right now is so low. They're
It's
not as
name only.
valuable. They're not as valuable on the court as they are for marketing. And it's a tough situation to be in.
The thing too that we haven't even spoken about is the summer of the whole aspiration story of trying to figure out exactly what happened there. Did they pay Kawhi under the table? Did they not? Is this a scam? Is it not? Or is the NBA going to do anything about it? Is Adam Silver going to take picks away? What picks do they have? They've already sent all their picks away. It's like that also looms large over the organization because everybody's looking around saying like, damn, what's going to happen, right? In the future, are we going to get dock picks that we don't have? Are they going to dock picks from us in 10 years that if we try a rebuild, it's going to be even more difficult because they're going to take those picks away? It's like they're in a really tough spot right now, and this CP story just makes it even more. So the PR staff for the Clippers would be like, damn.
Yeah.
They walk into work and there's some shit every day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's something.
That's because of some shit that happened last night, and that was Giannis, who came back from injury only to get injured again. Let's watch the replay. What happened? So he takes the ball, little crossover, goes baseline, makes a nice pass to AJ Green.
Ah, shit!
Bam! Little sniper from the top row. At that point, we didn't know really what happened. It's like, did he just tear his Achilles?
That's what I always. Anytime you talk about that calf and you hear
Directly
pop
there,
and it's non-impact, you always think, okay, did he tear something? Especially the Achilles. Man, I'm praying for Giannis. Obviously, you know, there was, you know, rumblings that he wouldn't be in Milwaukee. I heard that he asked for a trade. I can neither confirm nor deny. The reports are that in the summertime he asked for the trade. It didn't happen, but he recommitted. As long as they gave him an opportunity to win. That hasn't happened for them. So we'll see what happens. But health-wise, I just hope he's okay.
They end up winning this game against the Pistons, so obviously Pistons top of the conference. But for those people that have been saying, like, with the whole Giannis trade situation, right? He obviously, allegedly had asked for a trade to the Knicks in the offseason. And when that didn't come to fruition, he said, all right, I'm a Milwaukee guy. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to do what I got to do. And hopefully we have a team that is worth competing for championships. We know that that is not the case, right? That team, God love everybody on the team. A team with Giannis and Bobby Portis and Miles Turner and AJ Green and Kevin Porter. That's not a championship roster. We knew it from the top when it happened. When we saw what they were going in with, I looked at Milwaukee and I was like, this is a 500 ball club. Like, if anything happens to Giannis, this is a lottery pick team. Yeah. They're just not good across the board. They have decent pieces to go get other assets, but Milwaukee's front office has failed Giannis. After they won that championship, they got rid of some pieces, the Chris Middletons, the Drew Holidays. Now you look across and what they have. They made the trade for Damian Lillard. He tears his Achilles. He's gone now. And it's like, how is Giannis supposed to compete for this thing when you have that roster around you?
Yeah. It's not possible, in my opinion, in Milwaukee for him to be a championship contender. But I do think they can be dangerous if they sneak in and they get hot and they get healthy.
But Giannis has to be healthy.
Giannis has to be healthy. Anytime he's on the court, you actually do have a chance to win. He is a champion, right? So he has done it before. He is an MVP. He is one of the best players, one of the top 5 players in the NBA. You can push back if you don't believe that.
I agree.
But Giannis is a top 5 player, so you always have an opportunity to win when he's on the court. But if he's hurt, I can't see Milwaukee, you know, being even in the play-in.
There's been a lot of Twitter back and forth, Twitter conspiracies by people that's saying that now that the flame has risen a little bit higher on the trade conversation, that Giannis faked the injury. So the game against the Pistons that we just saw, he kind of went up and like you didn't really see a moment where like he stepped wrong or like whatever. He just kind of like went to the floor and we were like, oh, what happened? So people have been saying that's the case. Let's go back, Sean, real quick to the last video we were just playing.
For all those people who said that, you're very casual as a fan.
Right. And
you're
so
very casual.
This was him last year with basically kind of the same injury, right? Where he just kind of looks around, starts running, he's like, oh, wait a second, my calf, something's not right. And he goes down. So it's not like we just saw him take a dive like a paid boxer. This is something that we've seen before, right? I just don't like the narrative of a guy who is a champion who, remember, in that NBA Finals, we saw his leg like bend a way that it should not bend. We thought he was going to be out for a year or more and then scored 50 and had 20 boards.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of warrior we're talking about, a guy who's not going to fake an injury. So that to me has been kind of the stupider dialogue on social media where, yeah, a guy wants a trade. He deleted or unfollowed Milwaukee from his social media accounts and this and that. But to go ahead and fake an injury, I think that's
I don't think that's in his
ridiculous.
character. I don't even want to give any fuel to the fire on that. I think that's hideous. Giannis wouldn't fake an injury. At the end of the day, what did he do last summer? He played for his home country, right? This guy is a basketball junkie, right? All he really wants to do is win, and not just win. He wants championships because he's chasing legacy.
Yeah.
As a power forward, I would call him a power forward. There's a lot of people that he's trying to climb, right? In the historical
the grand scheme of
context.
things, yeah.
So no, I'm not gonna give any fuel to that.
How about fuels to the trade rumors and the rumor mill surrounding Giannis to some other place?
I don't want to see him in Milwaukee. I played for the Milwaukee Bucks.
You know what it is?
Hey man, I don't want to be in Milwaukee. Really good people. I surely miss my Pastor Locke. I miss some of the restaurants, some of the cheese, some of the beer.
Yeah,
but let me tell you, I do not miss, the 30s,
The 20s.
the 20s,
The 10s.
in June. It is a very great city. It is a very great city. Beautiful in the summertime, but who's there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Not
don't.
you.
I like our superstar players personally, especially at their apex, to be in bigger markets. I think it grows
What's the
the
spot
game.
you see him in? If you could handpick it, KD says, "All right, I'm the GM of whatever team. What team am I taking?"
Oh, the first team I always say is the home team.
Yeah, come
the
on,
crib.
talk to him.
The Heat.
Talk to him.
I always want to see Giannis or
You talk about
any good player.
monster package to send over there.
Listen, the humidity would make sure his calves don't go out on him. Like, it's cold up in Milwaukee right now.
Gotta get the extra stretch in.
I would love to see him here. I would love to see him in New York. I would love to see him.
He said he wanted to be a Knick, allegedly. That's what Brian Windhorst said. That's what everybody's been talking about. That in the summer he said, "I want to be a Knick. Make me a Knick."
I would love to see Giannis in New York. I think it'll be great for the game. I think the New York Knicks fans deserve to see an athlete like that run up and down the court, play, both ends of the floor. I think that it'll be great for him. It'll be great globally for the game if Giannis goes to a market like that. Or if you pair him with, San Antonio and you put him in Big Vic together, I hear that as well.
They had their opportunity, though, I feel like. San Antonio did. They could have packaged the number 2 pick when they had it that turned into Harper. They could have taken that. They could have taken a couple guys and sent that over and gotten Giannis that way. I feel like right now it's a little bit harder to kind of make the salaries match, to make everything kind of work.
It's going to be difficult for everybody to make those salaries work. At the end of the day, when max players like that, super max players, he's not just a max player, he's a super max player. So you're going to have to,
you're going to have to shift the farm out.
You have to be very creative. You probably have to bring another team in to try and make that happen. But at the end of the day, man, I got a lot of respect for Giannis. He puts it all on the court every night, and hopefully he gets healthy.
Do we agree that he's got to stay in the East? That he can't go to the West?
No, he can go anywhere. Giannis can go anywhere on the planet and stand out.
That the East is struggling as is, right? We've got so many superstars of the game in the Western Conference right now. Another one over there in the Western Conference. Now you're just looking around at the East, and you're like, who's here?
Yeah.
Who's here?
Yeah.
Like, it makes it easier for the Heat if you're a hometown, a homer, and you want the Heat to make the finals every year. Yeah, great. But you look around, and it's like so off balance from the superstars in the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference. Where it's like the Western playoffs are such a grind, like last year, Denver and the Clippers in a 7-game battle, right? Like, Clippers were playing ball last year where they could have won the NBA title. Like, that's how good they were playing.
Yeah, they were playing good ball.
OKC is the best team in the league by far. There's nobody close.
Yeah.
And it's like, to add Giannis to another team there would be spooky.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that.
It would be, but the balance shifts from time to time depending on what players are in the league at that time.
Where LeBron is, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
that was kind of the power balance.
Yeah, but the West, even when I was playing early in my career, the Western Conference was
tough.
much better. Like, you could have, you could win 40+ games and not make the playoffs, and then in the East, at the
40+
bottom
games,
of
you're
it,
at a 4 seed.
Yeah, so it balances. It shifts like that from time to time. But I don't care where Giannis goes. I just don't really want to see him in Milwaukee. Nobody flies into Milwaukee to go see Giannis.
Facts.
Right? If he's in New York, guess what? People will go to the city to go check Giannis out, to see him, to see the
Greek
fans
freak.
react to him.
Yeah. If he's in your city, you go.
The
problem is you don't go to his.
Not Milwaukee.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
Another thing in this game that I thought was pretty interesting. Can you kind of give me play-by-play, some color commentary on what's going on here? So we had Isaiah Stewart and Bobby Portis, two guys face-to-face. Oh, we saw a knuckle sandwich come up.
Hey, listen, man. You talking about a clash of the Titans. You talking about the battle of the Nephilims and the Anunnaki. Look, Bobby Portis, don't sleep on him.
No.
Do not sleep on him. If I'm not mistaken, what's his name? Nikola Nurkic?
Nurkic.
Back in the days
Yusuf
when they
Nurkic.
Yusuf Nurkic. Back in the days when they were in Chicago, really good player. He's putting in work. He's been in Spain. He's been putting in work in Europe. He wasn't an average player in the league. He was an above average player in the league.
Bobby,
they got into it. They got into it. I don't think it was a cold cock. From what I heard back in the days, hearing those stories, Bobby Portis tried to defuse the situation, but the guy escalated it.
And he ended it.
Yeah, and he ended it. I mean, he got a right hand that'll send you back to your homeland crying to your mom. So, yeah, Bobby Portis is not no pushover. And Isaiah Stewart, to me, is probably one of the top 3 scariest guys in the NBA, if not the scariest. I still remember how he was trying
James Johnson's still out there.
Well, James Johnson.
Johnson's still out there.
I think he's on a pedestal.
James Johnson.
Like, he's trained.
I don't even. Next one. Yeah, he's trained.
I don't even think he can hit you first.
Lethal hands. No.
Yeah, I don't think he would have to lure you in and hit him first to be able to attack you, because he's just a trained weapon like that. But yeah, man, I like to see it. I think guys like that, man, are the pulse of teams. We talk about Detroit and we talk about Cade. We talk about Durant. We talk about all those guys and the coaching and all that. This guy is their heart and soul.
Yeah.
This guy is their physicality. He's their enforcer. He does all the little things.
Kind of like the Ben Wallace role of old.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And at the end of the day, I don't want no smoke with him. I don't want no parts of him. No.
I'm good.
I'm good.
You're looking at two guys that are, what, 6'9", 6'10"?
Yeah.
Looking directly into each other right there. Be like, what's up?
Boy, look at here, boy. Ooh. Ooh, but I'm just glad that didn't escalate, because those two guys right there, like, look at his eyes.
No.
Those two guys right there, like, once they get to going, it'll be very difficult to stop it, and you just don't want to have that on the court. I think people want to see competition. They want to see competitiveness. They want to see you be feisty.
We don't want to see a malice.
We don't want to see that
those
anymore.
two, because I mean,
especially those two.
It's like, how many people would have to intervene each side to stop those guys from going after each other? You'd have to have 3 or 4 or 5 guys taking both back.
Yeah.
Oof.
You have to bring the tasers. You have to bring the tasers
you gotta
out.
do something.
After Stewart charged at LeBron once he made him bleed his own blood.
Right.
You have to bring the tasers out.
Okay.
Don't tase me, bro.
All right. Get into one of the other things from last night. Jamal Murray. Monster game. The Nuggets have been a little bit kind of lackadaisical. Aaron Gordon been hurt. Christian Braun's been hurt. But we're looking now at Jamal Murray, 52-10 on 76% from the floor, 10 of 11 from 3.
Yeah.
What do we do with Jamal Murray? Because he's a guy that he's had 50-point games in the playoffs twice. This is his 5th 50-point game as a guard. And you start looking around, you're like, do we give Jamal Murray the love that he deserves, or is it like he kind of shows up in spurts, which is why we don't really talk about him as one of the best guards in the league?
You know, those guys like Jamal Murray, to me, are really exceptional players. He's never made an all-star game, right? But he's a max player. He is a battle-tested player. He's a champion. He was, I believe, like one of the top 2-3 players coming out of high school from Canada and went to Kentucky. He was a one and done. So he's a high pedigree player. He's just not a superstar, right? He's like how Andre Iguodala and Rudy Gay and those guys who were really, really good, but not superstars, not necessarily all-stars all the time. And so he's just at like tier 1. I think that demographic of player benefits the most from the NBA system because they usually get the max, right? Not the super max, but they usually get maxed out and they have an impact on the game. They impact winning. He can do it a lot of different ways. I think he's gotten much better as a passer, even though they don't need him to pass that much because Jokic is
him and Jokic on a 2-man game is scary. Like that's what won them that title. It's just like he got hot. Jokic is the best player on the planet, and it's just easy for them to play a 2-man game, pick and roll here, pick and pop. Jokic can create the offense. Murray can spot up and shoot. He can create. He can slash. He can kind of do everything.
Yeah,
right?
he can.
Christian Brown is another guy that when they brought him up, I was like, okay, like. He's okay, but he's made a big difference for them defensively. Aaron Gordon has been awesome for them. And
I think he had a 50-point game.
He had a 50-point game this year too. But you look at what Jamal Murray's been able to do, and it's like of those guys, there's not a ton of them I remember with multiple big 50-point games. Right? Like DeAndre Iguodala, I'd be surprised if he had a 50-point game.
Yeah.
Rudy, I feel like Rudy's had maybe 1 or 2.
Maybe not.
Maybe
50
not.
is a lot.
50 is a lot. And he's done it 5 times and 2 in the playoffs.
In the era that they played in, you wasn't just getting 50 like that. 50s wasn't just walking through the door.
Now 50s are everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard Adam Silver make a comment about the fans and wanting more defense. I think they're going to reconsider, the freedom of movement and maybe go back to the hybrid style.
Bring a little hand checking back to the game.
Not necessarily the hand checking, but maybe, like a quick touch, maybe the bent elbow, maybe, kind of, balancing the floor a little bit for the defensive player to be able to have an opportunity to actually be a good defender. I think the fans are yearning for it.
So speaking of the Nuggets and the Pacers from last night, I'm going to play this for you. Have you seen this clip yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so this is TJ McConnell. Got a little bucket right there on, I think that's Bruce Brown, right? Yep. Gave him a little, there you go, attaboy. How do you feel about that? As a defender, when he comes back and says, yeah, right here, baby, let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do they have history together? Did they play with one another? Were they talking shit back and forth? Either way, I wouldn't have been a fan of that.
If you're the defender, TJ McConnell hits that little jumper on you. You're about to inbound the ball. He gives you the slap on the ass. Yeah, good job. Good D, better O.
Yeah. I mean, I think Bruce Brown handled it really well. I think.
How would you have handled it?
I don't know. You know what I mean? Depending on who it is. I like competition. I think that was pretty friendly. I don't think it was like embarrassing or insulting.
No, it was like good shit. Like,
yeah, like, all right, get your hand up. You don't know if they were having words and things like that. So I like to see the little friendly competition and, not necessarily the reaction. Like, I don't want to see hoopers all the time like fighting. I want to see you be tough and be aggressive and hold tight.
And be able to take it. Be like, yeah, no, you got me on that one.
Yeah, to me, that's not a real big deal. And at the end of the day, I think TJ has the respect of his peers. And the way that he plays, he's feisty, he's small, he's tough.
Dog.
He gets to his spots. He's a great role player in the NBA. And so I don't think it's that bad.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a friendly competition. Like we said, I don't think there was any malice behind it. I think it was just like, when sometimes you're in the zone and somebody's trying to guard you and you've been going back and forth a little bit and you're like, yo, you can't stop me here. Watch what I'm gonna do. Here, pop up. Hey, good job. I know you like that. I like it. I like it. Shit, what's more offensive to me is like when they like doing the hand, like putting the hand down. Too small.
Like all that, baby. Like that to me, and then stomping it like how Pat Bev did that one time. Like to me, that's more insulting than like, all right, now you better get a hand up. So I ain't mad at that.
Me neither. Good show.
Absolutely.
Good show.
Absolutely.
CP3.
The Clippers dominated this one.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
But you had some real shit to say about the Clippers, bro. Like, and especially about the CP situation. Because I don't think people understand what the dynamic that you were talking about of like being one person on camera in the media and being the same person, but just you don't really understand.
We're all layered at the end of the day. We're all layered. And, some layers are just highlighted more than others.
Yeah. Agreed. 100%. All right. We'll see you guys on Monday. Next week, we'll have a guest.
Yes.
On our Thursday show. We'll put something together.
Yeah, I'm going to have to reach out to my boy E. Lewis.
No, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm going to try and reach out to E. Lewis.
We got the media side. We're going to have to get a couple players. We haven't had a ref on. I think that's an exciting.
I think it'll be great to just get a referee's perspective.
Yeah,
so I'm going to give
facts.
E. Lewis a text today and see if that's something he'll be open to doing.
All right. Hopefully, E. Lewis next week. But we appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe, rate, review to our YouTube channel, to our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you check us out there on IG at The Crossover. He's Keyon Dooling. I'm your boy, 10-Day Tony. We'll talk to you guys on Monday.
My dog.
Let's go.
Good job, buddy.
Come on, baby.
You already know.